Hello, Hargos here, and I have another build preview for you today. And this one is going to be built around Merithra's Blessing. So I had a few questions about Merithra's Blessing when it first came out. And it was specifically, can it be echoed? Does it also reply reversion? And I want to say thank you to Bowser the Healer. He was able to provide that information in his video. He makes great preservation evoker videos, so check out Bowser the Healer. And yes, Merithra's Blessing can be echoed. It can also apply reversion along with Merithra's Blessing at the same time. And that makes it very interesting on how we could possibly build around this. So let's jump into some information here and how we could do a build. Let's go to Evoker, right here. Let's just talk about Merithra's Blessing. So Merithra's Blessing, Essence abilities have a chance to infuse your next reversion with the power of the Green Dragonflight, upgrading it to Merithra's Blessing. So your reversion's upgraded, but also applies reversion. Spraying a bloom of life from your target, healing them and up to 5 other allies with 30 yards. A bloom may heal your primary target multiple times if no nearby injured ally. So this can be a single target heal. It can be a 5 ally heal. And this actually has a pretty cool effect. It will jump between allies, so it's kind of like Spirit Bloom effect, but a little more enhanced. So it's really cool to kind of idea to build around this. And if you echo it, you have multiple of these just jumping around, healing allies. So kind of a cool effect here, and I'd like to build around this myself. Along with that, a reversion, so also applies reversion. Protects allies, reversing 4% of the damage taken. So you want to get as much of these out um, to get that 4%, and you can get double this when you double reversion your tanks. So that's going to be a large portion of your healing. And Dream Breath instantly heals for 125% more. So you could do max rank for more, or just single rank, which will have a very long duration, which we'll get into. The Dream Breath has a 100% chance to grant Merithra's Blessing. And the base cooldown for Dream Breath, I think, is 30 seconds, and we have ways to reduce that. So we can get Merithra's Blessing every time we cast Dream Breath. And it's unclear currently how often you get Merithra's Blessing from Essence abilities, so we'll see how they tune that. That's going to greatly determine how often we can cast this outside of the one that we get free from Dream Breath. Might change up the build a little bit depending on what that looks like. And I think this is why I like these kind of builds, because you're building up your echoes and you make a decision on whatever situation you're in. Do you need more hots? Do you need a single target heal where you can use Burn and Brace? Do you want more AoE heals, and make a decision on whatever's going on? And instead of just kind of going through the same rotation over and over, just waiting for a particular event, you can make a decision. So that's where the fun of this kind of build can come in. And so I want to go to Chronowarden because I want to build off Chronowarden because they get the most benefit out of echoes. If we're going to be using tons of echoes and Merithra's Blessing, um, different from Flame Shaper, where if you're using echoes, you probably want to use more Burn and Brace. Here you might be able to make even more powerful or more use out of Merithra's Blessing. And I like the theme of it. I use a lot of time-based transmog, so I'd like to be able to use Chronowarden in this situation. So Chrono Flames, enhanced with Bronze Magic, repeats 25 of damage and healing. So this is kind of the core talent of Chrono Flame, along with After Image. Empowered spells send up to 3 Chrono Flames to your target. So you have chance for Essence Burst here. Now we lost Spirit Bloom. Now Merithra's Blessing is kind of the successor to that. So I'd like to see a buff to this possibly, since we're going to be casting less empowered spells. So that's something I would like to see. I recommend. So just going through some of the changes here, the Chronowarden, Verdant Embrace. So we still want to use Verdant Embrace for this hot effect. So this is another hot. We'll have Dream Breath, Verdant Embrace, and Reversion. So 3 powerful hots that you could have on someone at one time. And if they're slowing down healing, this kind of build could be beneficial and mana efficient also. So Also, you get haste based on how many hots you have out there, up to 9%. And that's another benefit of Chronowarden here, along with some other talent choices. We're going to be having a lot of cast speed reduction, haste improvements. Golden Opportunity, Echo lasts 10% longer. I think I saw some patch note that it's 10% stronger, not longer. So we'll see. Tip to scale cooldown is reduced by 30 seconds. So this is now a minute and a half tip to scales. Along with that, you get increased haste movement speed, cooldown recovery rate by 30%. And it decays over 30 seconds. So that's a lot more haste as well. So this feels really good. You can cast a ton of echoes here so you can get more Dream Breaths, more Merithra's Blessing, and that's kind of building off that. Temporal Burst grants Essence Bursts every 6 seconds, so you get 3 Essence Bursts here during Temporal Bursts. So more echoes, fantastic. Um, in yeah, okay. So Chrono Flame maximum damage or healing is increased by 40%. So more benefit of Chrono Flame. You could use this as more of a single target heal now too. It's kind of a little smart heal. Let's see, no other changes. So I want to mention Instability Matrix because that can reduce our cooldown of Dream Breath by up to 6 seconds. I'd like to see this increased a little bit. Flame Shaper now has 2 charges of Dream Breath, and you can reduce your base cooldown to 20 seconds. So they can pretty much cast theirs every 10 seconds. So I'd like to see this up a little bit to 10 seconds to possibly try to match Flame Shaper's ability a little bit. And then this one I want to point out, Dream Breath, Critical Strike, increases duration by 2 seconds up to 12. And so when we go to the Preservation tree, Dream Breath, if you just do rank 1, is 22 seconds, and you can increase that up to 34 seconds with that. So you can have these hots out for a long time. If you can't get Dream Breaths on everybody on your first round of echoes, you can possibly get it on everybody your second round. So very powerful if you're just looking for a hot build, depending on how much damage is going out. Let's see. So when I was looking at this, I created what it would look like with our current talents, and this is kind of the path I went. Of course, we get the right side of the tree, and then the left side of the tree. We kind of skirt around the left side, and we'll go through the benefits of these. You do get life bind, but it doesn't echo. You can partner up with someone to heal them for 60% of the amount over 5 seconds. So you probably want to do this on a tank on like a damage window or something, or another ally that's just having trouble surviving. Unshakable, 10% improvement to empowered spells, and then Spiritual Clarity I think is important to get your Green Breath cooldown to 10 seconds. Now, if we don't have problem generating Merithra's Blessing, you could take Empath maybe, just to get more echoes out. It depends how often we get Merithra's Blessing and how powerful it is, because if we can get it every 20 seconds instead of every 30 seconds from Dream Breath, we probably want to go that way. Verdant Embrace increases the healing of Dream Breath by 40%. Always want to take that. Consuming it, full temporal compression grants your essence burst. And so with those free chrono flames every time we do empowered spell, along with temporal compression, you will likely always have 2 essence bursts coming out of a consumption of your temporal compression when you cast empowered spells. Dream Breath is heal increased by 30%. And then you want both sides here, probably. Essence Burst increase the effectiveness of your next Essence ability by 35%. So this does apply to your echoes, and so 35% more powerful echoes. That would be nice because you're going to be casting Merithra's Blessing, so 35% more powerful Merithra's Blessing. And that's really the only buff we can do to Merithra's Blessing. So I think it might be worthwhile to take. Then Dream Simulacrum. Burnt Embrace healing is increased by 40%, so that will apply to the hot in the Chronowarden tree. In addition, no longer causes you to leap, so you don't have to worry about leaping. You just send a dream version of yourself. And then on the right side tree, there's not a lot of changes over here, although Grace Period got moved. So you'll have 10% increased healing on everybody that has Reversion, which is pretty much everybody that also is being healed by Merithra's Blessing. So 10% increase to Merithra's Blessing, so there's another buff there. You still get Golden Hour, although we plan to be less bursty, so I'm not sure how beneficial this will be compared to our current damage tuning. Of course, you want to buff your echoes, resonating sphere, 4 more echoes, temporal anomaly, of course. And then you probably want to take stasis here, duplicating your spell so you can get a dream breath in here. So additional Merithra's Blessing. Now, Merithra's Blessing cannot be included in your stasis currently. Thank you again, Bowser. And so you'll probably want to do Dream Breath and Temporal Anomaly, although I'm a little unsure on your last option. So I'm hoping that they make it so Merithra's Blessing can be in stasis. So what you could do is start with Merithra's Blessing in your stasis, and then go into Dream Breath, Temporal Anomaly, and then just do more echoes, and then release again, and you can just do the cycle real quick, which would be nice. And then 56 seconds after casting stasis, your healing over time is increased by 60%. So your Embrace healing, your Aversion healing, your Dream Breath healing is increased by 6%. So big hot buffs if you had all 3 out on someone. Then chance of Essence Burst is increased by 100%. Your Chrono Flames, after casting a powered ability, should pretty much give you 1 or 2, absolutely, with that buff. Rewind cooldowns reduced by 120 seconds. Buffs to Reversion, Time Dilation, Echo, and Temporal Anomaly here. And then Tempo Charge, you're going to get this all the time. 20% increase to your Dream Breath. So tons of Dream Breath stacking buffs here for that healing over time. It's going to be very powerful healing over time. You're going to have Reversions healing over time. Then Merithra's Blessing for any AoE heal, single target heal. So it's going to be interesting to see how often we need to cast Fervent Embrace instead of Merithra's Blessing. And it's likely Merithra's Blessing isn't going to be buffed as a tier set. No, that's just a guess. But we shall see. That would be unusual, I think, if they didn't do that for at least the first season, building your tier set off a new Apex talent. So again, I think this is going to be a good option if you like to put out echoes and make a decision on the situation versus just kind of going through a rotation. And you're going to have lots of hots, very powerful Merithra's Blessings. So let me know what you think. Leave like, subscribe, leave a comment, and thanks for watching.